You're watching the Frye Show on Rider Nation Station, brought to you by Minster Bank, Plus One Professionals, Albert Sporting Goods, American Legion Post 323, Fowler's TV, Eagles Lodge 767, Speckman Automotive, Auglaze Audiology, Rabel's Auto Service, American Manufacturing Solutions, VFW 9289, Auglaze Equipment Rental, Guarneri's Pizzeria, Vogel's Bake Shop, Schaff Auto Sales, Miller Funeral Homes, and Spees Chiropractic and Wellness Center.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome once again to this week's edition of the Frye Show here on Rider Nation Station. I'm your host, Joe Hurlbert, alongside head coach Frye. And, Coach, first of all, congratulations on another win over the Bath Wildcats, 28-0. Your defense pitched a shutout. Riders on a roll as we get ready to go into Salina this week.
Hey, thank you very much.
Well, let's take a look, as we do each and every week, as to the Western Buckeye League standings, last week's scores in case you missed them, and what's coming up this week around the Western Buckeye League. First of all, let's take a look at the standings. Van Wert and Wapakoneta, 7-1 in the Western Buckeye League. They are tied for first place, followed by St. Mary's and OG. They're tied at 6-2. Bath and Shawnee are next at 4-4 in the league. Then Elidas 3-5, Defiance 2-6. Salina, our opponent this week, 1-7, and the Kenton Wildcats 0-8. So right now, it's to me, when you look at this week's games and this week's matchups, and we'll touch on it a little bit. As a matter of fact, let's take a look at what's taking place this week in the Western Buckeye League. Bath is at Van Wert. Elida is at Shawnee. OG is at Kenton. Wapakoneta is at Defiance. St. Mary's at Salina. And of course, I look at this. I look that Bath would have to upset Van Wert. Personally, I don't foresee that happening. And Defiance is going to have to upset Wapakoneta. I don't see that happening. So if I was a predictor of the future, I would say that Van Wert and Wapakoneta would possibly end up in a tie as far as the top spot in the Western Buckeye League. This week, or last week, Shawnee defeated Kenton 32-0. Van Wert defeated Elida 41-7. OG shut out Defiance 34-0. Wapakoneta 41-7 winners over Salina, and St. Mary's 28-0 winners over the Bath Wildcats. So, Coach, things shaping up. It's been, you're in week number 10. It's hard to believe we're there already.
Yeah, things flies by, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at as far as the computer standings are concerned, and I've got some questions we can discuss. Right now, as far as Region 12, Division 3, this is what I have as of this week. Wapakoneta still stands in the 4th spot. St. Mary's is right behind them in the 5th spot. Wapakoneta has 16.2125 points. St. Mary's has 16.2 points. With Salina and Defiance, there's a possibility. We're still hoping that we will jump over Walpolk and finish in the 4th spot.
Yeah, actually, I think if you look at different, there's different websites, and one of them is Joe Itel, and we've moved up to number 2, actually, on some of those. Yes. So I think if there's a strong possibility of getting in the top 4, which then would produce 2 home playoff games if we can win the first one. So here's our discussion. Obviously, this year they went to 16 teams. Mm. Your thoughts on the 16 teams? I think it's a lot harder to figure out who you're going to play in the first round.
Right.
I don't know. 16 games for high school football players it's a long year.
It's a lot.
But I don't know. They were talking about changing it to 12 and having a bye week in the first round, and I didn't like the bye week. I think anytime you give a high school kid a week off, I think they just lose the focus, lose the way they were going. So the 16 team thing looked like it was going to happen, so we were on board.
This is my opinion only. 16 teams, I think, for the OHSAA is strictly a money thing. That's my opinion. I agree with you. 5 extra games from the end of the regular season to the state playoffs. If you happen to get there for, that's 5 extra games. That's 1 game less than an NFL season, 3 games more than a college season play, and you're asking 14, 15-year-old kids to put their bodies on the line for that. I don't agree with that, but here again, that's my standpoint. And this being said, when you look at the top 16 teams, Franklin Monroe is in the 11th spot. Mm-hmm. All right. they're sitting there with a 4-4 mark. Mm-hmm. There's going to be teams that get into the playoffs with a losing record. So what does that do? In my opinion, it says if we want to be into the playoffs, our goal next year is to win. Let's just win 4 games and we'll be in. Where is that level of excellence that you teach your kids to do? To me, you go in at 4-4, you stay at a level of mediocrity because we're going to make it at 4-5 or 4-6 or whatever the case may be. I think in order to get into these playoffs, you need to deserve to get into the playoffs. That's my opinion only.
Way smarter than me. You're a bigger, deeper thinker than me. I'm not smart enough. I'm not smart enough to think that way.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm a deeper thinker, but it's just that you got teams that are going to go in at. In all honesty, there will be teams that'll go in possibly at 3-7.
Yeah.
In some regions around the state of Ohio, and to me that's. That's what happens when you extend it to 16 teams that
From our program standpoint is that we expect to make the playoffs every year.
Absolutely.
So we expect to be at the top of the league every year. So we've made the playoffs with the 8 teams. So This doesn't really benefit us as much as other schools.
I agree. That's my editorial. That's just my opinion only. 28-0, your defense throws a shutout against the Bath Wildcats. And, folks, I want to let you know that the St. Mary's defense is the number 1 team defensively in the Western Buckeye League, and they are getting better and better and better. And I tell you what, I would take OG and Wapakoneta at this stage of the season than I would at the beginning of the season. You're playing a lot better football than you were in weeks 3 and 4.
Yeah, we're playing team football.
Absolutely.
All 3 units you're seeing get better. So.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. 28 points the Rough Rider offense put on the board last week against the Bath Wildcats. Let's take a look, Coach, at some of the highlights. This first clip here, this is just basic good blocking at the point of attack.
I personally think this run right here by Ross Henshin set the tone for the game. Yeah. I think he wasn't blocked very well. He ran and got 7 yards. He got to move the chains, got us a first down. So we told Ross that. I said, hey, I think that play right there set the tone for the game.
Right. And then the second play is another nice run by Ross. He picks up a big first down here early in the ball game. Yeah,
Ross is getting better, and he's a good football player. And we just have a stable of running backs that you're seeing a lot of them. So.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of spread the wealth around a little bit. This here's Colton Mabry. He gets 7 yards on the sweep.
Continues to get better. He's kind of thrown into a bigger role now with losing Tanner. So he's in there. He's carrying the ball a little more for us, and he's blocking extremely well.
This here's a nice run by your fullback, Aiden Henkel. Of course, gets better and better each and every week. This is a big run here. I think he runs out of his shoe, but he gets tackled at about the 1 yard line.
Yeah, you're seeing his old self come back. It is slowly but surely, and that's because of practice.
Absolutely.
And it's all about.
And Gavin Reinike pushes it over from the quarterback sneak for the first Rider score.
Yep, I love quarterback sneaks.
Ross Henshin, out of the straight T formation, just good hard-nosed running by Ross.
He's got a lot of heart. He plays with a lot of pride and a lot of heart, and he keeps his legs driving and gets first downs.
Full house in the backfield. Braden Hemmelgarn picks up good yardage on the sweep.
You've seen him come alive, right?
Absolutely.
I told you a long time ago.
Absolutely.
I've been calling it for a while.
Yes,
Give us time and practice, and they'll get better. So.
And then this is the other Braden. Braden Sullivan picks up good yardage on the sweep. Almost the same play that Hemmelgarn runs in the clip before.
Very similar.
This here is the 54-yard touchdown pass to Keegan Sharp from Gavin Reinike. This ball couldn't have been handed to him any better.
You see it in practice every day. We do that. We've done that in practice probably 20 times this year, and it all carries over to the game.
And this here's a 2-point conversion following. This is Braden Sullivan.
Yeah, Sullivan's really good down here by the goal line, finding a way to get in the end zone.
He does. This next clip, this is a nice screen pass to Hinkle. He picks up good yardage.
Yeah, right before halftime, we were trying to put one in before and get some more points on the board before the half, and it almost went all the way. And so trying different things just to try to get the ball in the end zone.
In the second half, this is a nice run by Hemmelgarn again, gets the stiff arm, and then
that was all Braden Hemmelgarn right there. We didn't block that very well. Yeah. So, yeah.
This is a nice run by Colton Mabry. I think he puts this one in the end zone, but unfortunately, this is going to come back on a penalty on the Rough Riders. So.
Yeah, we got our hands out. Whenever you get your hands out on the edge, they call that all the time. Yeah. So next play later, though, is this
Yep,
one,
absolutely. Very next play, boom, we're going to take it in for a touchdown. Hemmelgarn with the run.
Time we kept our hands in, and good things happen. Right?
Good blocking down the field. Stosh Patterson down there. Yep. Throw that final block to get him into the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
That was Keegan Sharp, and this is it.
Keegan Sharp carrying. He'll play some split for us, and he'll play halfback for us. So he can run.
So on the night, the Rough Riders had 35 rushing plays. They finished with 222 yards on the ground. They were 2 of 3 through the air for 66 yards. Finished with total offense of 288 yards on 38 carries. Ross Henshin led all ball carriers for the Rough Riders, 10 carries. 51 yards, followed by Hemmelgarn with 5 carries, 66 yards, and 1 touchdown. Aiden Hinkle, 5 carries for 56 yards. And again, you don't see a lot of carries, but you see the well spread out a little bit. I mean, you had like 5, 6 running backs at one point in time that carried the football.
Yeah, we have more actually too that we haven't used yet, which is crazy. That's the thing about St. Mary's is kids want to play running back and they're good at it. So.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. This is kind of unique. Time of possession went to Bath. They had the ball for 29 minutes and 39 seconds. Rough Riders had it for 16 minutes, 32 seconds. So when you were on the field, you were productive.
Yeah, productive. And some of those are because of big plays. You saw the long pass play. You'll see the punt return for a touchdown here later. So some of those are misleading because big plays sometimes lead to less time of possession on the field.
And, of course, your defense give you an average start on the 43-yard line where our special teams started them at their own 23. So you kind of worked with a 2/3 of the field as compared to 80 or 90 yards for a touchdown.
Yeah.
The defense, again, pitched a shutout, getting better and better each and every week. As I mentioned, this is the number 1 team in the Western Buckeye League defensively. So let's take a look at some of the clips here. Drew Dameyer puts pressure on the quarterback. He runs this one down from the backside.
They just play so hard, and that great things happen. And Drew plays with a motor and a very live motor, and he enjoys playing football. So.
The same play, but runs him down from the end zone shot. This is Drew Dameyer again, running it down from the backside. I like the way your defense communicates with one another. I mean, they're always talking, and if you're not in the right spot, somebody will move you, and that just heads up awareness of good defensive play.
They're playing as a team, like I said before, and that's a testament to Nick Yale, Tom Now, Shane Patterson. They get them on the same page, and they play extremely hard.
This is a fumble recovery. I think Jay Schaefer picks this one up. Boom, falls right on it.
You're seeing him show up a little more. He's playing good football right now.
Mm-hmm. Logan Compton continues to see more playing time defensively. He's playing well. He's in on that sack there.
He plays hard and finds a way to get on the field every single week.
Absolutely. So. Braxton King continues to play well. He's one of the team's sack leaders there. Teams up with Stosh Patterson to stop that play.
I'm not going to talk about Braxton this week because he says I talk about him too much. So
we're not supposed to talk about him.
he talks too much is what I told you. So every time you talk about Braxton, I'm just not going to talk about him.
Yeah. So apparently he watches.
Yeah, he watches. Yeah, he says I don't talk that much in school. I said, yeah, you do, dude. So I'm just not going to talk about him this week.
This is good defensive line play. This is for no gain. This is just won that battle up front. And no gain
Team
there.
Gang tackling, guys getting to the ball. Everybody but Braxton King.
This here is a pass by Armitrout. It goes downfield. Good coverage by Hemmelgarn here. Right there, knocks the ball down.
Yeah. See that in 7-on-7s all the time, and he's a good athlete.
And this is a nice stop here by one of your defensive players.
I don't know who it was. Oh, yeah, I don't know who that was. Nice celebration at the end, too. Yeah, good job.
This is Keegan Sharp. Closes in and makes a nice tackle here.
Yeah, the Sharps, man, they play with live motors and they're active and they're really a lot of fun to coach because they're great attitude every day.
Here's one of your leaders on defense as far as sacks are concerned, Dylan Giesecke, and he's just playing well.
He's got long arms and he has a very quick first step, and these spread teams we're seeing every week, he matches up very well against them.
Absolutely. Brandon Bowers makes a nice stop there, closes quickly, and I think that was for a loss. I think this is I think this pass is tipped here by one of your defensive linemen.
Yeah, I can't remember. Come on, did it again? Somebody there tipped it. I don't know who it was. I think that was Stosh Patterson or Giesecke that tipped that actually. Yeah.
I think on this next play here, you see the defense play with a little pep in their step on this particular play. I think they're starting to smell this shutout.
Yeah, I think they are. Yeah, they're playing. Like I said, they like that.
They're running to the football. They're gang tackling.
Yeah, flying around, and usually you can see it. And I'll tell you what, they're a great group of kids and just enjoyable to be around. And when you watch defensive practice, there's so much energy going around out there every day. Yeah. So it's fun to see.
This is a nice pick by Keegan Sharp. Reaches up with one hand, pulls it down. Unfortunately, there's a penalty on this one, and brings it back. But here again, did a great job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a heck of a pick. He's a good athlete. Yeah.
This play here, I think it's his brother Carter gets in on the action.
He's a great kid as well. He's his first year actually out for football.
Is it really?
Yeah, he didn't play the last 3 years, and I'm glad he came out because he's a heck of a little wrestler. And, you see it. That's what he's doing in there. He plays wrestling guys and finding a way to get to the ball carrier.
This is another sack by Giesecke, top of the screen.
Yep. Like I said, these matchups have been very good for him. And that was a pretty good offensive line that Bath had. Absolutely. Big, thick physical kids, so he's doing it against some pretty good opponents here. And
you don't have to say anything, but this is a fumble recovery by Braxton King.
Okay.
You don't have to say anything.
Are you sure he got that? I don't know.
He's pretty excited about it.
Yeah. You know what? He's a fun kid to be around. He's excited all the time, and I'm just giving him crap.
Well, the Rough Rider defense, 30 rushes Bass had, held him to 42 yards on the ground. That's pretty good defense.
Yeah.
Passing, Armour Trout 16 of 26 for 133 yards. Total defense, they gave up 56 offensive plays, 175 yards of total offense, and that's why the Riders are the number one team in the Western Buckeye League in defense. Special teams also had a good ball game, and when we talk about it at the beginning of the season, you need all three components. You need offense, you need defense, you need your special teams, and the special teams played pretty good on Friday night. Yeah. This one here is the opening kickoff by Braden Hemmelgarn, and again, one of the reasons why the Rough Riders started on their average their own 43-yard line. Mm-hmm. He's crossed midfield on the opening kickoff.
Yeah, actually, it was a great return, and we've seen it come, and it's as you see it starting to come. You saw it a little bit last week as well, and luckily he hit it there. Unfortunately, he got his hand caught in the guy's face mask, and they called a face mask penalty there on him. So we lost a few yards, but it was still great starting field position. So
this here is nice special teams coverage, nice punt by Bowers. Ryan Myers down there on the stop. Boom, reads it, keeps him inside, turns him inside, and then goes in for the tackle.
You're seeing us do the things now that we weren't doing 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Some of the tackling on special teams to the missing tackles to holding on to the football. We're doing the little things correctly, and it's great. I love seeing it.
This is just an excellent punt return by your punt return team. 75-yard touchdown run by
Hemmelgarn.
Yeah. And just
he hit a seam and went with it. He's, like I said earlier in the year, we thought he was the best athlete in the league, and he's starting to prove that now because he can run and he's athletic and he's getting better every day.
This is the same play just from his perspective.
Mm-hmm. We're blocking people too, which is great. We're doing things. Some guys catching blocks, but we are blocking at least. So we're putting bodies on people, and he's a good enough athlete that he can take it back to the house if he gets it in his hands.
This here is, I believe, this is one of the few missed point afters by Bowers. He just pulls it to the left, and it's almost to the point that they're not really automatic anymore. You kind of stand, if you're a fan, you kind of hold your breath whether or not he's going to.
It's a psychological thing with him. He's got such that big leg, but every now and then it's, like I said, a golfer. Sometimes you pull it, and that's what it is. And like I said, I've never kicked, and I'm not a kicker, so I'm never going to tell him what to do or how to fix it. But we got guys that are helping him. So.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Now this here, Bath ran this particular pass pattern in the first half, and this may be the first half, but there were some adjustments made on this. And in the second half, we didn't see this play go as far as it did earlier in the ball game.
That was a drop.
I saw it.
I'm just messing with you, man.
I get it.
Yeah. He's talking about defensive adjustments, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So, are you talking about Bowers here? Bowers jumping it, yeah.
Yep. And this to me, I don't know if this was pass interference or what the deal was, or did we catch a break there? Yeah. But I'm sure Mark and Zach will talk about that in rules of the game. So.
That's beyond me. I coach. I don't officiate.
You're watching your iPad.
I'm watching my iPad. I'm supposed to say all nice things about officials anyways. So they're great. So that was a good no call is what I thought. So
this is a nice return by Braden Sullivan.
Yeah. He can hit it as well. Like I said, at least they're fielding it. That's the number one thing. The number one thing we want them to do is field it.
Absolutely.
And after that, great things happen.
Yep.
So.
This one here, this not only is a nice punt, but this ends up being a nice roll added onto it. So it gets it down inside the 15-yard line. And again, because of the special teams plays such as that's why Bath averaged their starting at their own 23-yard line.
Yep. Living right? Did you say that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. When you're living right, good things happen. So.
This one here, if you're a receiver, this is what you don't want to do, because once you drop the ball, you're in big trouble.
Yeah, they had a new punt returner back there. Their other kid got hurt the week before, so
Did they?
That's the first week that kid was playing back there. So it's a tough job.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, for special teams, Brandon Bowers punted the ball 3 times on the night for a 41.3 yard average per punt. He is the number 1 punter in the Western Buckeye League going into week number 10. His longest punt obviously was aided by the roll, but it was still 50 yards. As I mentioned, Bath's average starting field position was their own 23, and it was due in part to, special teams play. Mm-hmm. Well, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about this week's opponent, the Salina Senior Bulldogs, when we do that right after this.
You're watching the Bo Frye Show on Rider Nation Station, brought to you by Minster Bank, Plus One Professionals, Albert Sporting Goods, American Legion Post 323, Fowler's TV, Eagles Lodge 767, Speckman Automotive, Auglaze Audiology, Rabel's Auto Service, American Manufacturing Solutions, VFW 9289, Auglaze Equipment Rental, Guarneri's Pizzeria, Vogel's Bake Shop, Schaff Auto Sales, Miller Funeral Homes, and Spees Chiropractic and Wellness Center.
Once again, we'd like to thank all of our sponsors who allow us to be bringing you the Bo Frye Show, Rules of the Game with Zach and Mark, and also Rough Rider Football each and every Friday night. And if you get an opportunity, as I mentioned many, many times throughout the course of the season, stop in and thank them for being part of Rider Nation Station and helping sponsor the things that we do to help bring you Rough Rider Football. Coach, the Salina Bulldogs, of course, everybody knows, big rivalry across the lake. Everybody would say you can throw the records out the window because this is going to be, we're going to get after it. Mm-hmm. And Salina comes in with a record of 1-8. They're 1-7 in the Western Buckeye League. This is a team statistically, probably in most statistical categories, offensively and defensively, are in the bottom third of the Western Buckeye League. Sometimes they're in the 9th spot and scoring. They're last in the Western Buckeye League, only scoring 10 points per ball game. So not only that, I think the game itself is motivation enough to get your team up.
Our kids are excited. They were always excited when we play Salina. I think there's a strong connection between the communities. I talk to my kids like, I don't want my house burnt down, right? That's the motivation enough, right? So we obviously, this is one you want to win every year.
Right.
We do a lot of things to prepare for this one and get this win. I mean, I spend Christmas over there because my family's for my wife's family's from Salina, so I spent Christmas in Salina. I don't want to go over there and have them talk to me about losing. So it's obviously a big one. So it's a lot of motivation. You're seeing it in practice. Our kids are excited.
Yep. Offensively, they're led by their quarterback, Nick Adams. He's 125 for 200. He's completed 125 out of 200 passing attempts, which is a pretty good percentage. And he's not only that, he's thrown for 1,130 yards. So they will throw the football.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is scary because you never want balls flying over your head. So we actually have to do our jobs and prevent any big plays and keep everything in front of us. And he does throw the ball very well, so he can throw a good deep ball and he can get it out to his receivers quick. And
rushing the football, Jaden King is their running back. He's their leading rusher. He's carried the ball 88 times for 371 yards. He's averaging about 60 yards per game and scored 3 touchdowns. So, again, got to focus on them as well.
Yeah, we got to tackle. We got to make sure we're doing everything correctly and getting our assignments and doing our job. I think we're excited and we know what's in front of us.
So I think in order to bring back a W and finish this season with a win and get ready to go into the playoffs, it's crucial to come away with a win. And what's that going to look like? What we got to do?
Yeah, I think you need to finish the year right, finish the season right before you go into the playoffs. And what we need to do is we need to continue to do what we've been doing, and we need to continue the recipe we've used by blocking extremely well, by tackling extremely well, by playing great special teams, and continue to just enjoy each other's presence and get better every day.
Absolutely. Well, we wish you the best of luck this Friday against the Salina Senior Bulldogs. That's going to wrap it up for this edition of the Bo Frye Show. And remember that we'll be there at the Bulldog Stadium on Friday to bring you coverage of the St. Mary's Salina ball game, whether it be via audio and then tape delay, or hopefully, if everything works out, we'll be there to bring it to you live as it happens. So once again, for head coach Bo Frye, I'm Joe Hurlbert. We'll see you next time. So long, everyone.
You're watching the Bo Frye Show on Rider Nation Station, brought to you by Minster Bank, Plus One Professionals, Albert Sporting Goods, American Legion Post 323, Valor's TV, Eagles Lodge 767, Speckman Automotive, Auglaze Audiology, Rabel's Auto Service, American Manufacturing Solutions, VFW 9289, Auglaze Equipment Rental, Guarneri's Pizzeria, Vogel's Bake Shop, Schaff Auto Sales, Miller Funeral Homes, and Speed's Chiropractic and Wellness Center. Thanks for watching another episode of Rider Nation Station. Help us help you by subscribing on YouTube or following us on Facebook.